Think of the best gaming motherboard as the foundation for your future PC. Your motherboard dictates what your gaming PC can and cannot do. It also tells what components you should buy, since not all PC parts fit into all motherboards. A good motherboard should provide you with worry-free gaming lasting multiple CPU and GPU generations. Before committing to a motherboard, you must ask yourself, how big is your PC case? Do you want to be able to overclock your CPU? Do you need high-performance RAM support? Do you need a block of USB ports, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi? If your wish list increases, expect to spend extra. This isn't always bad, especially if you don't plan on getting a new motherboard for several years. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 gaming motherboards and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you. And as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Gigabyte Z690i Aorus Ultra Plus. Best Z690 Mini ITX motherboard. The Gigabyte Z690i Aorus Ultra Plus has proved itself in our testing to be a well-performing, good-looking, and a cost-effective option in the Z690 ITX space. Priced well at $329.99, it's cheaper than most of the competition, and it includes 2 M2 sockets, a modern premium audio codec, and high-quality 105A MOSFET ETs to feed any CPU. Plus, it's an RGB-inclusive design. If we look at the competition, we have ASRock's Z690 Phantom Gaming ITX/TB4, $299.99. The MSI MEG Z690i Unify, $399.99, and Asus ROG Strix Z690i Gaming Wi-Fi 6E, $409.99. These are more than capable ITX boards, with the difference coming down to price and your needs. All of these boards include Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5 GBE, at least 2 SATA ports, and 2 M2 sockets. The other boards have additional SATA ports, while the MSI is the only one with 3 M2 sockets. The ASRock falls short if you compare audio codecs, but few users would notice a difference. We like what the Gigabyte Z690i Aorus Ultra Plus has to offer. The new board fixed problems with the previous version's PCI slot and brought us a generally well-rounded and definitely a well-priced SKU. It's also the only Z690-based ITX board with integrated RGB LEDs to make it visually stand out in your case. Those who are looking to use more than 2 SATA drives will need to look elsewhere, but otherwise, the Ultra Plus is the best Z690 Mini ITX option available for the price. Number 4. ASRock B760M Steel Legend Wi-Fi. Best B760M Micro ATX motherboard. If you're in the market for an inexpensive Micro ATX size motherboard and won't overclock your processor, the B760 chipset and the B760M Steel Legend board specifically is where it's at. It's better equipped with 3 M2 sockets at around $160 and arguably as good-looking as most of its peers. If you like bling, the bright and colorful RGBs will light up any chassis, and the ADP port is there for those who'd like to add ASRock's 13.3-inch side panel kit to spice things up in their case. And while the power delivery isn't impressive on paper, it handled our Intel i9-13900K even with the power limits raised. Performance out of the box matches other boards that follow Intel specifications, read, slower than unlocked boards in multi-threaded and long-running benchmarks, but it is a solid gamer. Once you unlock it, you're limited only by the CPU cooling. As far as the competition goes, the Asus Prime B760MAX, $168.99, is the most expensive option, but it offers nothing in terms of features over our Steel Legend. Gigabyte's B760M Aorus Elite X, $159.99, lacks in M2 storage count, 2 compared to 3, but makes up for it with a more premium appearance. MSI's Pro B760 MA Wi-Fi, $154.99 is another valid option, but it doesn't cut it in the looks department and is also short on M2 storage count. For about $160, ASRock's B760M Steel Legend Wi-Fi is one of the best micro ATX options available for 12th 14th generation Intel processors. Number 3. ASRock's Z790 Steel Legend, best budget Z790 motherboard. The Z790 Steel Legend is a great option for budget-minded users who want all of the flexibility of Intel's overclockable platform, but don't want to spend a ton of money to get there. Along with its neutral black-on-silver appearance and bright RGB lighting, you get all the platform offers, including a PCI 5.0 slot and M2 socket, 5 total on the latter, 8 SATA ports, front panel 20 GIPS USB Type-C, integrated Wi-Fi 6E, a basic audio codec, the NDP port for an additional monitor, and power delivery capable of handling our flagship class processor at stock or while overclocked. Around its $230 price point, ASRock's Steel Legend is one of the most feature-packed Intel's Z790 options on the market. The only real trade-off here is the basic audio codec, which will still be fine for a lot of users. If not, you can always opt for one of the best PC speakers that feature a built-in DAC. Number 2. ASRock Z790 Taichi Lite. In a market where the cost of motherboards has steeply increased over the last few years, it's nice to see at least one partner offer something a bit less expensive than the flagship, but that's still spaced to the gills. Priced at $379.99, the ASRock Z790 Taichi Lite gets you everything the more expensive Taichi offers, including the incredibly robust power delivery, dual Thunderbolt 4 ports, loads of storage options including a PCI 5.0 M2 socket and 8 SATA ports, premium audio, and more. What's missing is the high-end appearance. The typical Taichi 3D cogs and fine finishes on the heatsinks and shrouds give way to simpler heatsinks, a more exposed PCB, and stenciled designs. But this board is still recognizable as a Taichi. As far as the competition in the sub-$400 space, there's plenty out there. But put simply, none of the other boards available around that price come close hardware-wise. The biggest drawback of this board is the appearance, and even then, it's not bad. It just doesn't have the premium vibe of the original Taichi. If you want some of the best hardware the Z790 platform offers at a more reasonable price, and your build doesn't require flagship-class looks, the Taichi Lite has taken the weight off in all the right places. Number 1. Gigabyte Z790 Aorus Extreme. Best high-end Z790 motherboard. All the flagship-class Z790 motherboards offer the best of the best in terms of features and specifications, but the Gigabyte Z790 Aorus Extreme presents the best value among them. You'll lose a couple M2 sockets over more expensive boards, but this bird otherwise has everything else you could ask for and more, while costing between $200 and $400 less than the competition. The Z790 Aorus Extreme delivers 10 GB Ethernet, 40 GIPS Thunderbolt 4 ports, flagship-class audio, PCI 5.0 GPU, and M2 support, overkill power delivery, and that high-end appearance you expect from a high-end board. MSI's Z790 Godlike offers up a few more features, like 7 M2 sockets, but costs $400 more, and it's also physically bigger, making it hard to recommend to most people unless money is no object. The Z790 Aorus Extreme also performed well in our gaming, productivity, and overclocking tests, as you would expect from a flagship board. Just remember that this is an eATX model, so you'll need a case with a bit more room than standard ATX options. But you could certainly buy a bigger case with the money you'll save by opting for this board over other Z790 flagship options.